Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast where we like to release our inhibitions and feel the rain on our skin because no one else will do it for us. Only we can let it in. No one else. No one else.
That's so true.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Yeah, that song was on the radio when I went to go paintballing.
Wow.
A few months ago. It was good advice to go paintballing while you're... I don't want to give too much information away on the internet, but I've only gone paintballing twice, and the first time I was about half as old as I am now. So there was some anxiety about doing it in terms of joint pain, but it was fine.
I feel like you left there with more than just a pocket full of sunshine.
Yeah, let's say that. Welcome back to Safehouse Chats.
Welcome back to Safehouse Chats.
The only Sly Cooper podcast that tries to set a new record each episode for how many tangents we can go on.
And you know what? No one's beating us.
Yeah, it's good to be succeeding at something.
Yeah. Let's talk about some gargoyles.
So, the weird thing about Brooklyn was that they never really, he was always there.
No. Okay. Now, before we get started, we are going to be continuing our redux.
Our revisit.
If you haven't watched our last... Yeah, where we are revisiting the games. If you haven't watched our last episode, we did Sly 1, and we kind of explain what the whole shtick is at the beginning of that episode, so make sure you check that out before you listen to this one if you want. But basically, since we recorded our last episode, I've kind of had this melon stuck up my ass.
Okay.
I pitched this idea of a Redux series of episodes to Snap, and it's kind of my fault because I feel like I chose the word Redux because it sounds very nice. It has an X in it.
It's fancy.
But after recording the last episode, I was kind of like, I know you're not going to get this reference, but there's this clip of Natalie Nunn telling... there's this... He's nodding.
I'm nodding, but I think Aris can tell the light has left my eyes.
There's this clip. We're going to put it up.
Sure.
I want Snap to actually search for this clip during the editing process.
You can send it to me.
No.
Okay.
There's this clip of Natalie Nunn, and she's saying...
That's not what the fans want to see. That's literally what the fans don't want to see. Do you understand? That's not what they want to see. And that's not what the fans want to see. That's what the fans, I promise you, don't want to see.
That's literally what the fans don't want to see. That's what the fans don't want to see.
Okay.
So I by no means have beef with what we recorded. I just feel like the word Redux isn't really a match. It sounds much more important than what we actually did.
What came out.
A cute little chat. Yeah. I feel like framing it as a Redux did us dirty, but in reality what it is our first few episodes on this podcast were flushing out all the shit from our system and saying whatever sorry, I slammed the mic there, not to get violent on our listeners. I feel like we flashed everything out, we had our notes, we did our big one, that was great. And now it's just a bit of the second course.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a revisiting.
Yes.
Redux implies that we're remaking it from the ground up to be superior. This is more like we're going back and just hanging out in a familiar space.
Yes. You know what? I'm going to change the thumbnail and it's going to, instead of saying Redux, it's going to say a cute little chat.
Yeah. In Comic Sans.
How about that? Slide 2. Cute little chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to clear that up. I know you have some things to say as well, so please go ahead.
Thank you. A few days ago, like the end of last week, I was just thinking about how I kind of liked opening the episode with like a small news item, even if that small news item was about Mr. Beast. Specifically, our mutual friend Kit having their Discord hacked to send Mr. Beast crypto to everyone in their contact list. So I was like, I think we should keep that up. Obviously, it doesn't have to be about Mr. Beast crypto.
It doesn't?
It doesn't. Sure enough, last week it was announced that Nintendo is making a new Star Fox game. Star Fox being, you know, kind of an analog to Sly Cooper. There's stuff to mention there. Specifically, the designs are really rough to look at because they are hyper-realistic, which is never, as we know ourselves, the more visual fidelity you try to push onto Sly Cooper, the worse it gets very quickly.
Yes.
So I don't love that. Star Fox is also a bit infamous because literally half the games, someone counted because of this announcement, there are like 10 games and 5 of them are the first game and remakes of the first game.
Oh my god.
Including this new game.
This new one is a remake?
The new one, so there's the first one, and then that got remade on the 64, and then that one got remade on the 3DS, and then there was a reboot on the Wii U. Remember the Wii U?
Yeah.
That was the same story again as the first one and the remake. And now this is also the same story again for a 5th time. So that would be like if we did have more Sly Cooper games, but half of them were Sly fighting the Fiendish Five for the first time. Like it was a reboot each time. So lots to discuss there. And then I got hacked. And I sent Mr. Beast crypto to everyone on my Discord.
Wow.
So never mind about Star Fox. I've been visited by the specter of Mr. Beast. I will not go into detail about it because it is embarrassing, but basically, after 20 long years of navigating the internet successfully, I downloaded and ran an exe file I should not have. And that's very embarrassing. It's the kind of thing that you think happens to other people until it happens to you. As with Kit, everything's fine. Everything is handled. All the passwords are changed. I think in both cases, this just really tickles me to think about. I think they were looking for my cryptocurrency. I think they were hacking my computer in order to check how much cryptocurrency I have in my cryptocurrency apps and cryptocurrency wallets. And it's like that trope in a movie where someone gets mugged and hands over their wallet and there's nothing in the wallet. Like, I'm really sorry to break it to you. There is no cryptocurrency on my PC and there never will be. That's why it was limited to the Mr. Beast crypto scam ad. Nothing else happened. Except Aris will recall the weekend prior to our recording session.
Oh.
We did have to change the password on the Safehouse Chat's email account.
Yes, we did.
The timing of that initially seemed like it was part of that hack. But as I thought about it, I kind of think it might be coincidental because what happened there was someone tried to make an account on OpenAI, which is the ChatGPT company. It asks you to, give it your email. Someone named Christopher, apparently, put in safehousechats@gmail.com. And then an unopened email was sent to Safehouse Chats that was like, okay, now you have to enter this secret code to create your account. And I saw that email come in. To be clear, that came in like midnight my time. Hours passed before I saw it. It was unopened. And when I went into the ChatGPT account, nothing had happened. Like I was the first one in there. There's literally like a page that shows you how much you've used it, like how much of the rainforest you've burned down, and it was all 0. So it's not even a thing of like they made the account and then did some stuff and then deleted it. There is like a tool. So I think someone named Christopher, just coincidentally to my whole embarrassing situation, wanted to make a ChatGPT account, used Safehouse Chats the name of their favorite Sly Cooper podcast.
True.
And then obviously wasn't able to access our email to use the code to sign up. So Christopher, if you're listening, I fucking deleted that account, and it said that if you delete an account, you can never use that email ever again.
Wow.
It sounds like I'm making that up. I'm not. Once you delete an account, an email off of OpenAI, you cannot use it again. So better luck next time, Christopher. Find a better way to spend your time than using AI tools.
Christopher Robin really grew desperate after Winnie the Pooh entered public domain. That's what I have to say. Here's the thing, though, before we latch onto this news item for too long. When we redid our privacy settings, our security settings after the little hack attempt, it showed that the login attempt, which was the catalyst to all of this, was from Istanbul, Turkey.
Okay, interesting.
And to my knowledge, I don't think there's anyone named Christopher in Turkey.
Turkey's a big country.
Well,
this is news to me. Turkey did not come up in the scope of my limited investigations. And also, it definitely wasn't me, because while I do have an international VPN, I don't think I've ever set it to Turkey specifically.
Miles Edgeworth 3 investigations.
Someone's been hacking into my Tumblr.
The curious case of Christopher from Istanbul, Turkey.
We know what you did, Christopher.
Now,
Let that be the last spoken of it.
don't make me channel Miss Nun twice tonight.
Yeah.
So, if you're ready, let's jump into slide 2, Band of Thieves.
Yes.
Which, last time I had done zero prep for the episode. This time, I have actually booted up the old PlayStation 3 and put in my Sly trilogy made by Sanzaru. And I pressed play. I, unfortunately, am not a holder of the PlayStation 5 Sly remaster.
Good port.
So I'm playing the shitty version.
Yes.
Where Sly is not a shadow in the intro, or Ms. Ruby is not synced. The aspect ratio is not...
The aspect ratio is just not.
Yeah, it's just not.
Which one did they do the least bad job on? Because undisputedly, they did the worst job on the first one.
Absolutely.
But I think 2 and 3 are like equally mediocre.
Yeah, they're tied.
I think the Miss Ruby one is like the biggest crime by far, and nothing else. Aside from the aspect ratio, which is just a headache to look at. I can't believe that shipped. Was that really so hard to fix?
How hard is it to... Well, I don't want to diminish anyone's job, but like, you're not making a new game. You're just remastering a classic, let's say.
How hard is it just to add a tiny bit of black to either side, just to like square that circle and make sure that it's like fully...
Could you not do that?
I will say you can notice a similar thing in the PlayStation 3 ports of the Ratchet games, in that there are little moments where like Clank is standing off to the side, say, and in the original 4:3 television cut, you couldn't see him, and now you can see him, and you can see that he is completely not animated. He's just like stock still, because why bother animating him? He's not on screen.
Oh.
Let's try to bring this back around into what we're actually talking about.
Yes.
There is a definite art style in the Sly games that should have been better preserved in certain ports that will remain nameless.
100%. We're in agreement. That being said, I did boot it up.
Of course.
I did play quite a bit, actually. Today, before recording, I finished the first round of missions in Rajan's jungle. I'm about to chase after Neela, part 2.
Hooray!
I feel like that's a good point to play until before we record this episode. Some things are quite vivid in my memory at the moment.
Which I'm sure we'll get to.
Yes. Question. Why is it called Band of Thieves? And what instruments do they play?
No! Well, Bentley's on keyboard. Because computers have keyboards. I feel like you... didn't.
No,
Okay.
no. I got that.
Oh, okay. So, how about that Star Fox games, huh? Tough crowd. I've never really pictured them as musical characters, which is interesting because the series does have excellent music. We are all the time talking about Peter McConnell's work, but I never really picture, like, it's a very common blurbo from my shows thing to be like, oh, what if he was in a band? Or even like, what music does he listen to on his iPod Nano?
Yeah.
I don't really have those thoughts about them.
It's very Riverdale.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, no one gives a fuck. But that being said, and I've made this argument many a time, including our original Slide 2 coverage, could they not have named this one Honor Among Thieves? It has to do with honor. You have dishonorable thieves, the Claw Gang, and the honorable thieves standing right next to them. And then, hello, you're recruiting a bunch of baddies to open the vault. That's literally a band of thieves.
Yeah, I believe my answer was, my memories of childhood are generally quite dim. My memories of what I had for breakfast today can be dim.
Oh.
But I seem to recall, in terms of marketing, Sly 2 was marketed as, you've played the first one where you played as Sly Cooper. Now look at this one where you can play as 3 guys. You play as the whole band of thieves.
Baby, that's a trio. Slide 2 trio of thieves.
Yeah.
Anyway, we open in Cairo.
We open in Cairo, and it is a very solid opening. It's a very atmospheric opening. Even the little details like having Sucker Punch be a billboard. That's just stylish. It's just a stylish little touch.
In Cairo, of all places.
Cairo, of all places.
You've got a Christopher in Istanbul. You've got a Sucker Punch billboard in Cairo.
We live in an international... Look, it's 2004, okay? It's the end of history. Everything's cool forever. I played and replayed this opening so many times.
Yes.
Sly 2 was my favorite game at a point where I couldn't reliably finish games because I was that young. And particularly, I couldn't beat the final boss easily, for sure. And also, like, when you're a kid and you play a game for the first time, it's got, like, that new game feel.
Yeah.
I feel like as a kid, you're more likely to just restart it than as an adult. Maybe just because as an adult, you have less time to waste.
I didn't know how the PlayStation save card ever worked.
Oh no! Yeah, that'll keep you in Cairo.
When I was a child, if I wasn't playing with my dad, I just kept restarting all of my favorite licensed games.
Yeah.
Which was like, I don't know, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. I played that fucking shit from the beginning, I don't know, like 15 times. And I was like, it's getting a bit repetitive, but like it sure is fun.
It would be cool if there was some way to like go straight to later parts of the game. They should invent a way to do that.
Yeah.
God in heaven. In contrast, I have not replayed Sly 2 at all. I have no notes in front of me for, I think, the first time in podcast history. I figured, if I can't talk about Sly 2 on demand, that's out of character for me.
Yeah.
So just kind of casting around. Peking duck is a kind of when you take a duck and cook it. When Sly is like subverting and perverting the code names Bentley came up with, he turned the sitting duck into Peking duck. That's a type of way to cook a duck.
Is it not Peking duck?
No, it's Peking because, God, I have to reach for Google immediately.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Peking is a former name of like Beijing.
Yes. In Greek, I'm sure it's not the same, but it's like Peking.
Yeah.
As in like the dog breed.
Oh, no.
Like Pekingese.
English speakers say Peking if they say it at all. Because I just Googled it. It's the same damn name, translated differently. It was Peking, and then they went with Beijing. The same way that we were calling it Kiev for a long time, until they were like, can you please call it Kiev?
Native speaker and scientist over here.
Peking duck is a dish from Beijing that has been prepared since the imperial era. The meat is characterized by its thin, crispy skin.
Ooh, delish.
My question is, how do Jean Bisson's guards feel about that?
They'd probably feel very delicious next to some turtle soup because they and Bentley need to get the fuck out. So, since we're talking about like the shit that is said during this prologue, A Shadow from the Past, I go to the Mari section.
Yes.
And he breaks in through the ceiling. He's like, Thunderflop, blah, 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 blah.
He sure does.
And immediately, I felt a shiver go down my spine.
Okay.
Because I was like, why wasn't that the name of our bottom tier in the tier list episode?
Thunderflop.
Thunderflop.
Oh. Yeah, there's no excuse. We're both equally culpable on that.
Listen, I love me some Bloodflop Bay. But I feel like, was it the other one? Was it... The one was Mrs. Puffin, CEO of Chop Hose. The other one was Bloodflop Bay. Was the other one Miss Decibel Takes Ozempic?
Miss Decibel Takes Ozempic was Who Cares? It was like C tier.
Right, because no one gives a fuck if she does.
Yeah.
I recently watched a video on Meghan Trainor, and the title was When Your Body is Your Whole Brand. That applies so deeply to Miss Decibel.
She's a fictional character. She was made that way. It wasn't her choice.
Yeah, she was unfortunately at the mercy of the Tanzaro developers, which...
Yeah. Wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
No, absolutely fucking not. Now, circling back, I don't know how you feel about Fox's X-Men Apocalypse.
I have not seen it.
Wow.
Yeah, I've only seen a handful of the X-Men movies. I hope the better ones, because they're very up and down. But that's on the list of I haven't watched.
Fake nerd.
Not even dignifying that with a response.
Okay, you're drinking water because you're starting to sweat. Because I'm onto you.
So the thing about Broadway from Gargoyles.
So, just speaking about that movie, I kind of love this portrayal of Egypt as like one of like the cornerstones of like civilization. And it's like, I mean, of course it was Mesopotamia and like, what was it, like the cradle of humanity? Mm-hmm. I think I'm getting shit mixed up, but I'm kind of obsessed with this idea that like, here's a nod to like where Clockwork was supposedly birthed, and here's where his corpse supposedly lies. It's a full circle moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a certain beauty to that, all right. It is a supposition. That's just the oldest documentary evidence of Clockwork that we have, is that he was around with Tutankhamun. But, like, that's still a guess.
Yeah.
I like that even though both the first games are nominally about Clockwork, he remains so mysterious. Like, this is advanced stuff for a game that's mostly being played by kids. This is an introduction to what we call haunting the narrative, because Clockwork never shows up in Sly 2. Clockwork stays dead, but his corpse is enough of an entity to have this entire plot revolve around, even though there's never a moment where he's like, haha, I was biding my time, now I'm back. The way that, like, every single Legend of Zelda game always inevitably comes back to Ganondorf.
Not too much on Zelda now.
Even if they introduce a cool new villain. Every so often Zelda introduces a cool new villain, and then Ganondorf shows up by the end anyway.
Yeah, they're like, guess who was controlling this bad guy?
Exactly. There isn't a moment like that, and there easily could have been, now that I think about it. But our attempt to remain chronological has fallen apart somewhat. The best we have is Neela makes a vague comment about like, oh, I'm really feeling it, Mr. Krabs. But even that is not like confirmed. Aris gave me a look of surprise. She did not say the words, I am really feeling it, Mr. Krabs. I feel like I need to clarify that now.
I haven't played until that point. I don't remember what she says. I think she said it with a British accent. That's why I was shocked.
Oh, I'm really feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Does that ring a bell?
Oi, mate. I'm pegging that man at the back of the bus. That's what she said.
Yeah.
So
that's what she's like.
First of all, have we ever seen this narrative device or narrative structure in the series before where the corpse of a character drives the entire story?
I'm hard-pressed to name another example, especially from an E for Everyone PlayStation 2 game.
I think it was in a comic, actually.
Sure. There's stuff like the Guardians of the Galaxy in Marvel Comics live in a big dead guy's head.
No, but like in the Sly series.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I could have sworn.
Is this about Mrs. Puffin?
Who?
No one. Never mind. I didn't say anything. Go back to sleep. It's fine.
Okay. She doesn't exist. She won't hurt you.
Yeah. Oh my god.
The overall story here is impressively written.
Yes, absolutely.
You've got beats which are hard to beat. You've got, for example, Sucker Punch seemingly playing all of their cards.
Yes.
Here are all the villains at Rajan's ball.
Yeah.
Guess who you'll be facing off against after? Ooh, Arpeggio is like the final... He's like the technological bird. We're saving him until the end. It's gonna be like...
Arpeggio is gonna give you such a boss fight, you don't even believe it.
One cutscene, babe. One cutscene. Similar story beat, which I'm obsessed with, is what you described, because you also mentioned like that feeling of starting a new game as a child. I do have some remnants of memories of what it was like before I actually played this game. And imagine this beat is so well written and so powerful. The whole game is framed around preventing the return of clockwork. And they play it so...
Yeah.
They hit you along for the ride. And you're there and you're thinking, oh my God, it's going to happen. Like, there's no way it's not going to happen. And then it never does. They edge the fuck out of you. And then you're like, oh, well, he never did come back. He only has one appearance in the series. And that's the first game. It instilled something in me, which like to this day, I remember like the buildup of thinking he's going to come back and he doesn't. Like it's, they really pulled it off.
More and more, I realize the sign of a good story is you can see an obvious decision they could have made that they deliberately like don't make.
Averting expectations.
Not even subverting expectations has kind of been soured as a term because it's been associated with, oh no, people have correctly guessed where my story will go based on basic genre conventions. I better kill one of the female characters out of nowhere. Like shock value stuff. Whereas this is well constructed and still a satisfying story. It just moves in ways that you don't expect. Like it doesn't swerve. It just kind of curves in unexpected ways.
Yeah, they lay the groundwork in front of you, and then when it doesn't happen, you're not disappointed because something more epic happens.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Something memorable.
You waited for clockwork this entire game. Well, guess what? The bitch that has been giving you like a really hard time for 7 levels now, she's the final boss. In Clockwork's body?
Iconic.
Body T.
I did revisit our previous episodes on Sly 2. I talked so much about Neela.
Okay.
I feel like there is nothing more for me to specifically discuss about Neela. We've probably covered everything that we can conceivably say about Neela.
Yeah, maybe let's exhaust other avenues.
Yeah, I'm taking a kind of speak if spoken to approach. If you bring up Neela and you have something to say, that's fine. But I think we have, certainly I have, decisively at this stage demonstrated the extent to which she does feel like a unique character in the full context of the trilogy. There isn't another villain who gets quite as much like screen time as her, and there isn't another villain who superficially isn't a threat. In terms of raw strength, I think Neela might be the weakest villain aside from Arpeggio, because every other villain has some kind of boss fight. Like even the Black Baron throws hands. Raleigh tries to crush you with his big belly. There are direct confrontations with all of them. Neela mostly like deliberately keeps her distance from you, never faces anyone in a straight fight because she doesn't want to, and because she kind of knows she'd probably lose, or at least she wouldn't have as good a chance as if she did her usual thing of waiting for an opportunity and then stabbing someone in the back.
Yeah.
And you only fight her directly after she has successfully finagled her way into a massive cyborg body. Then she's like, fine, I'll just kill you now. But she never ever meets someone in honorable combat. And I kind of love that about her.
I never really thought of her as weak or like the weakest. It's definitely mind over matter with her.
Absolutely.
I also feel like she's very distinctly Sly's villain. Because with the other two, they're leftovers.
Yes.
Clockwork was a lineage villain. Dr. Michael was a Connor villain.
Yeah.
Neela, we don't know anything about this psychotic woman. We don't know where she came from, what her motives are. She just showed up, got a high-ranking job at Interpol, and then just went from there. And it's self-contained in one game.
I think, along with a lot of other evident, like, influences, Sly 2 has instilled with me an appreciation for stories where characters don't necessarily have backstories all tied into each other. I was talking to a coworker about Star Wars the other day, again to explain to Aris, who has not watched Star Wars.
Oh, to some extent. I watched some of them.
There's Chewbacca.
Yes.
In the first movie. Everyone likes Chewbacca. There's Yoda. In the second movie. Everyone likes Yoda. One of the prequel movies established that Chewbacca and Yoda actually were really good friends. And they had a whole history.
Okay, I didn't actually know that.
It's stupid. And I use that to this day as shorthand for like someone will tell me about a stupid writing decision and I'll be like, wow, and Chewbacca and Yoda were friends the whole time. That makes the world seem small. That really reminds you that there is a writer who is playing with these characters. Whereas Sly 2, Neela shows up from nowhere. You're entirely correct. Just happenstance puts her against Sly. She turns out to be one of the worst people Sly ever has to deal with. Then she dies, and that's it. Sly has to move on from there. You don't have to have it that they went to the same orphanage. You don't have to have it that she survives and she keeps showing up every 2 years. Sometimes a story is good if it's just one thing.
She's just psychotic. She just came out of nowhere. She just,
She wanted something and Sly was in the way. Literally, that's it. That's all you need.
Well, not only was he in the way, he was also a tool for her exploitation.
Absolutely. As everyone on Earth is. We could all learn so much from Neela. What a role model for the children at home.
Sorry, I'm dying at the idea of recording a podcast, you telling me that Chewbacca used to be friends with Yoda, me trying to understand and connect the dots with my press-on nails on. Our listeners are very lucky this is not a visual medium.
Yeah. While I'm, like, in full swing.
Yes.
Just a brief update on what I talked about last episode in terms of Ghost of Tsushima also having a turret mission. I did a little bit of research into it. The Mongol war machine that you commandeer to fire rockets out of is specifically a hwacha, which is of Korean design, but, like, that's fine. They explicitly say in the game that one of the strengths of the Mongol Empire was that they took stuff, techniques and technology from everywhere that they conquered, and they had reached Korea at that point, obviously. It was invented 200 years after the year the game is set in. Game is set in 1274. It's from the 1400s. So Sucker Punch did an intentional historical falsehood. 200 years, just a little adjustment to make sure that they could get a turret in there. I've played a little bit further. I'm near the end of Act 2. You get to use the hwacha again in a second turret section.
Wow.
I know it's one of you. Sucker Punch developers who've been in there from the start. One of these days, we're finally going to play
Rocket Robot
on Wheels.
And there's going to be a turret mission.
And there's probably going to be a turret section of some kind in there. I bring it up just in terms of if someone said, give me a reason I should not play Sly 2. Give me a genuine critique that you cannot weasel out of by spinning into a backhanded compliment or something. I would say there is no like optional missions in Sly 2. It's a completely linear experience. You have to do every mission in order to get to the end. Some of those missions are turret sections, and the final boss is mostly a turret section, and they're not very good turret sections.
You're forgetting tank gameplay.
The tank is worse again, for sure. Tank is, I think we're still in agreement, the worst part of the whole game. But the turrets, there's more of.
Yeah.
The turrets keep coming back.
By the way, since you brought it up twice, Mari mounts the turret.
Wow, lewd.
What did you just say?
Lewd. Just keep it PG.
Oh, I thought you said without lube.
Keep it PG, would you? Keep it E for everyone, would you?
What did you just say? He mounts the turret to bring down the chopper. Which, by the way, why was there a chopper protecting a ball?
Off the top of my head.
Can you imagine if it was paparazzi? Can you imagine it was a...
Oh God!
Mari shut down the free press.
That instantly got me in the throat.
Oh.
Bentley is just like, that helicopter must be heavily armed. Shoot it! Murray's like, okay. Neither of them any the wiser to the fact it's just some scummy journalists.
It was TMZ.
Who are naturally like, what the fuck is happening?
It was page 6. They came crashing down. The tabloids are dead.
Off the top of my head, I would say Rajan is very much into conspicuous consumption.
Yeah.
The whole point of the party was to show everyone how cool and rich he was. So I could definitely see him being like, and if anyone's worried about security, I have an attack helicopter. And people being like, I wasn't that worried, and also I don't think that would be a huge help. But it's showing off that he can hire an attack helicopter.
Anyway, Mari gets on it and he's like, I used to have a potato gun. When?
He stole it from another child at the orphanage.
Oh, I thought you were going to say someone else. I thought you were going to say someone else, but she's deceased.
The orphanage that was run by no one.
Okay.
It was kind of like a Mad Max situation. It was just a bunch of orphans having to fend for themselves. That's why they have such a strong brotherly bond. It's because they had to look out for each other in this like Lord of the Flies scenario where there was no adults present.
It was a crack den.
It was no one's happy camper orphanage. Nothing on the...
Up your nose with a rubber hose to snort coke with.
This feels like the theories online of like, oh, all the children in Ed, Ed, and Eddie are actually dead. Like, nonsense.
Yeah, but this actually happened. So, anyway, let's just pass the potato gun comment. What else I have to bring up, since we're saying fuck you to the chronological order of things.
We're just doing whatever. We tried.
Yeah, we're just saying fuck it and going. I have to tell you that more than any other time, I feel like when I play this game, like, there's so much muscle memory to it and so much just like knowing the words that it's like kind of like on autopilot. And I feel like this playthrough more than, I feel confident to say more than ever, I've been very perceptive. I recently posted on Tumblr, you've seen, that for the first time ever, I've seen some of the portraits in Cairo that I didn't even know were there.
Me neither. That JoJo one was news to me.
I had no idea. Jojo World.
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Siwa.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Okay, let's move on.
Okay. From the west to the east.
Yeah.
So I feel like this time around, I noticed how low-key unfinished Dimitri's episode was. Not unfinished, but like you can tell they meant to do more and they lay the foundation, but they never did it. I'm 100% sure we've discussed this before, but there's like unused areas.
Yes.
Like the upper floor during that, the recon mission.
Yep.
Which you can actually go there.
Yeah, and it feels cool to go up there, but there's not really anything up there.
Same with the disco I actually took my finest time playing as Bentley, which almost never happens. Like, let's get this shit done with.
Yeah.
And I've kind of explored the disco. There's a whole... There's a whole... Well, yes. There's a whole, like, platforming section at the top where you can go as Sly.
Yeah, there's pipes to climb up, right?
Yes, and there's, like, a little water pump on top of Dimitri's office, which is, like, very odd. I feel like they meant to do more with this stuff. I mean, of course, we've discussed in more detail the unfinished Dimitri boss fight.
Yeah.
There's a second and third floor, and I did actually go up there again. The elevator on the second floor to take you up to the third floor works.
Oh, very interesting.
Yes. There's this little, like, striped, you know, like, police tape. Not police tape, but it's, like, yellow and black striped situation. And it's a platform that takes you up. On the first floor, that doesn't work. If you go up on the second floor somehow, it does take you up.
Gotcha.
And there's this, like, little mugshot final stage all the way up where, like, you can actually, like, go around this huge, like, tank.
Wow.
Which says, please do not... It has a note with written in Comic Sans, actually, that says, do not explode, or, like, do not...
Oh,
like,
that's visible from the recon mission.
Yes.
It says, please don't blow up. Thanks, management.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, MGMT? The band? And I feel like there was, like, going to be, like, a 3-stage thing, just like with Mugshot, and you had to chase him up there. Because, like, for them to add that node, it means that it was bound to happen. But, yeah, like, the remnants are definitely still there. Even, like, narratively, from what was left in the final game, you beat his ass, and then the end cutscene to the boss is just him going to input some shit into the computer, which is like, why are you leaving mid-fight to do that?
To do that, yeah. All of this is stuff I absolutely did not question as a child. It seems obvious to us now as adults who have played this a double-digit number of times. When you're like, wow, this game has so many colors in it. It kind of goes over your head.
Yeah.
I think definitely I would say that there was stuff planned that they didn't get to in Paris. Because I feel like this is the level with the most amount of that stuff, right? This is less evident in, say, one of the Jean Bisson levels.
Yeah.
I would say it's kind of like a thin, blurred line between we intentionally meant to do more stuff, and, like, I could see, as the first major hub, there's probably, like, remnants of experimentation here. Like, they stuck a water pump on top of Dimitri's office just because they were messing around and putting things in places. That's always very interesting to see in any video game. The, like, if there's any kind of remnants of the design process that you can see in the final product. It's kind of unique to video games. I think it's more easy to pick that stuff out in a game versus, like, a movie or something, purely because there are so many more moving parts. There are so many more departments. Everything needs to kind of come together. But it is definitely interesting to notice on a replay all of these, like, little elements of development that don't really go anywhere specifically.
Wasn't there a whale character in the comic that was, like, related to Dimitri?
There was. He was engaged to her.
To the pig.
Was the whale was the statue.
Okay.
Dimitri was engaged to the pig, and then the pig unveiled
the whale statue.
The Venus de Whalo. I remember that because Carmelita is at the party and she's there when it's unveiled, and she's legit like, wow, that's something. Yeah. Like, she's just continues to be really bad at parties.
Yeah.
I would say a good 85% of what we talked about in our previous Slide 2 coverage was how bad Carmelito fumbled every single social interaction at Rajan's ball specifically. I think that was the real focus of our entire 4-hour discussion.
You're quite the dancer. Are you involved in law enforcement by any chance? I bring up the whale because there was a whale statue in that little garden area in Paris, which I was like, oh, wait a minute.
That's right.
You convinced me. that the mission where you have to steal the keys from the boars isn't all that during our tier list episode.
Oh, I'm sorry. I take it back.
I'm sorry, but that's like an A+ mission in my book. Like, I replayed it the other day. I was like, this shit is so fucking good.
Okay. I'm glad.
Like,
you still have your childlike wonder.
Besides the point that it's camp.
Yeah.
Because it absolutely is.
For sure.
It's a simple pickpocketing mission. But like the layout, the fact that you can do the whole round without having to double back.
Yeah.
And it's like it tells a story.
One of them is asleep, which is funny.
That's art. Okay.
Yeah. It is very well constructed. And it feels thiefy. It's gotta feel thiefy.
It's like Cooper Spotlight.
Yeah, exactly.
Branding.
A question that has occurred to me there, which I don't believe we have previously discussed. How do we feel about the hub world treasures?
Oh, which I have gone out of my way to collect this playthrough.
Very good.
And some of them are like very weird. Like Rajan has a golden scroll case.
Sure. That sounds expensive.
Like,
if it's made of gold.
Why the fuck do you need a case for your scroll? I think they're quite fun. I like how they provide a bit more of a challenge when compared to the clue bottles, which are also a hub world staple. Mm-hmm. To be honest with you, what I've been doing this playthrough is you've asked me before about this, and actually a lot of the stuff that we talk about on here sticks with me when I play. You asked me, I think way back when we started the podcast, if I have any rituals, which I like to do.
Yes.
When I play these games. Funnily enough, collecting the clue bottles, I do first.
Cool.
I'm so greedy, I want them now. Please give them to me now. All 30 of them. So what I've been doing is that if I come across a treasure, which is the don't get hit kind,
yep.
For an extra layer of challenge, I put that on and then I collect the bottles and I'm like, if I get hit, I lose.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I feel like, again, one of the few criticisms anyone has about Sly 2 is that it is a little too easy. So having this optional challenge in there is welcome. I also feel like, I'm glad you brought up the clue bottles. The clue bottles and the treasures are both incentive to actually explore the hub world to the fullest and to find not only all the bottles, but all the treasures and to like work out, okay, what's the safest way back to the safe house from this location. You do feel their absence in Sly 3.
Absolutely.
Just in terms of things to incentivize going out into the level.
Very small detail that I also appreciate. The vault locations make sense.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're tied into the narrative. Contessa's ooky spooky basement in her own house. 100%. Dimitri's office. Where else would he have a safe? Hello? Like
Rajan's office as well.
Yes.
They're all sensible locations. Again, it's a little touch, but it really shows the level of thought put into all of the design.
You know what, Rajan? I've seen what the inside of your office looks like. You're definitely into fisting.
What?
Humble Indian water bug. The new product from Apple. Humble Indian water bug.
Whatever sells. I would buy. Actually, I don't know if I would buy. I would like a humble
Indian water bug.
Indian water bug.
You know what? If it vibrates and makes
like
noise.
Outside my house, I think. I don't know if I'd like it. It's pretty large. It's not that humble. It's quite. It's the size of like a human head. That's very big for an insect.
Oh.
I definitely don't want to buy the Apple Corporation's answer to the humble Indian water bug. Whatever they invented that they're like, you don't need the humble Indian water bug anymore. Now you can buy this fucking e-waste gadget that'll end up in a landfill in 3 years.
The humble Indian water bug.
Absolutely not.
All I will say is it probably wasn't humble when Black Spot Pete was done with it.
No. We can't keep doing this.
And yet we do. every single time. And by we, I mean me.
So what's interesting about Lexington from Gargoyles...
Listen, if you're going to bring up the Ghost of Tsushima turret multiple times, so can I. Might as well just spray me with Raid at this point. Would the humble Indian water bug die if you sprayed it with Raid?
If you used enough, yeah. Most things would die from that, I think, if you used enough.
Bentley?
Yes, if you sprayed Bentley with enough Raid. I'm talking like a lot of Raid. He has asthma. It wouldn't take that much to kill him.
Don't threaten me with a good time, okay? Now, let's talk about multiple things that I like. First of all, kind of the first time I've noticed how much sass the Palace Doorman has. Because
if you didn't notice that, who would?
Listen.
You see him come on screen, you stop listening, you're just thinking with your dick. You have never, listened to what he was putting out there. You were just too in lust to even communicate with him naturally.
Yes.
That's so sad.
If we were the 7 deadly sins, I would definitely be lust for the Palace Doorman.
I would be greed because he's the coolest one on Full Metal Alchemist.
Wow.
Regrettable lack of visuals for the viewers at home. Aris said, wow, but he was disinterestedly looking at his own nails while he said it. Yeah, that's really cool.
I was about to say, it's not even coming from a horny place because I have my press-ons on. So if I try anything, I'm gonna get, cuts. Multiple lacerations.
Well, as we've repeatedly established, the Palace Doorman is 2 eyeballs and nothing else. So really, does the nail situation, does that really move the needle?
2 eyeballs and a is what I'm thinking. Here's the thing. The line delivery is not really there. But, if you check the dialogue beneath, which I never actually did because I was concentrating on those lovely eyes. He's like, can I help you? Quotation marks.
Sir.
Sir.
Yeah, he sure is. He's a bitch.
Oh. I'd watch those B words, honey. There's a B.
We're really playing the hits. Is there anything we haven't covered?
Yes.
Murray died. Murray was Avril Lavigne. There. I think that's all of our
Black Barons.
Oh God, I somehow managed to forget that one.
So he's got some sass. He's got some zest in him. He's like, can I help you, sir?
Yeah. He's a nasty boy.
Where's all this attitude coming from? If you only knew. And he's like, look, buddy, are you from Brooklyn?
He might be. We don't know that he isn't. Why does he have to be from India? Maybe he is from India.
I don't think he is.
And he's watched all of the Bollywood movies set in America. So now he knows what Americans sound like.
He's from India, but he loves Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Specifically.
ACAB.
Yeah. Carmelita would hate that show.
There's this cop-out mission where he doesn't open the door.
Yes.
And then we get to the actual best mission of the game, which is ransacking guest rooms. Listen, would you stay in there?
In the hotel?
In the guest rooms.
Is this in general or with the knowledge that Sly Cooper is going to come and break every single piece of furniture?
In general.
In general, I think it's quite a lovely room.
Me too.
You have space to entertain guests, which is not a given at all in a guest room.
Yeah.
There's the bed and the bathroom, and most places would end there. But you have this lower area that you could have your own little party in.
Well, we don't know what's going on in the guest rooms after dark, so let's just keep it there.
Sleeping.
Eyes wide shut, perhaps?
Also, you get a balcony.
Yes.
So it's an excellent room. However, it is in the same building that Rajan sleeps. I don't know how much I would want to be in the same building as Rajan.
Especially after we've seen the inside of his office. Now...
Horrible.
You posted this on Tumblr, the 2004 staple of having that stereo set.
Yes, the massive TV the size of a shed.
Let's wake it up.
That still gives me so much joy to contemplate. I believe you made a comment about the static it generates just killing you if you touch it.
Yes.
Oh.
That does sound like something I would say.
Even thinking about that, I have like goosebumps on the back of my head. Like, oh, what a way to go.
It's just like top 5 missions of all time. Like just the visual of Sly holding up like gloves and it just saying, gloves.
Shirt.
Shirt. I don't know if you want to wear it if Rajan was wearing that.
Yeah. It's incredible how it all fits him. The fashion in that universe must be such a headache because people are such wildly different sizes.
And widely different approaches to what you would consider to be clothed.
Yeah. A lot of them are just not wearing anything below the waist. Some of them aren't wearing anything at all.
John Bison wears a tunic from supposedly before he was snowed in. I don't even want to know how stinky that shit is.
I don't think he washes it.
Did he sit down at the ball at any point?
I don't think he crosses his legs daintily, if that's what you're getting at.
Which, by the way, if we go back and replay it, roll the tape production, the shit he says about spice doesn't even actually make sense if you pay attention, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Let me pull up the transcript.
Do you have such a...
That's
the other one we forgot. That was the one that we put on a high...
We
put that on a high shelf. We're not allowed to play with that one.
Yeah, we were like, that's not getting touched anytime soon.
No.
The high shelves, like in Miss Decibel's library. Sorry, I'm just going through the script now. Rajan addresses himself as Lord Rajan. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, he does do that, doesn't he? Over the intercom.
Attention guards, this is Lord Rajan. It's like, okay.
And he emphasizes it. He's like, this is Lord Rajan.
Yeah, like we've established the guards seemingly have no union in this universe during our guard episode.
Yeah.
If your employer is talking about himself in that way, maybe you should unionize.
It's calling. You should leave.
Yeah.
Quietly in the middle of the night.
Rajan says,
that fellow is very graceful.
If only you moved spice shipments as well.
okay.
It's not his job to move the spice.
Exactly.
He manufactures it.
What the hell are you talking about?
Jean Bisson would easily be the worst guest at this party if he wasn't in a context
Except for
with
Carmelita
Fox. We talked about how Rajan blamed. He was like, "Oh, Inspector Fox will pay for what she did at my party." You don't want to just kill Jean Bisson? I would if he was that disrespectful to me at my own party.
Sitting down in his tunic.
Ugh.
Talk about Rajan's ball and Jean Bison's ball as well.
Mining accident.
Oh, Lord.
Lumberjack accident.
Here's the thing. Carmelita is there seemingly undercover.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. You're such a great dancer. Are you a cop?
Not to talk over whatever point you were going to make, but I just had a vivid image of an Interpol building, and the three of them are talking. Contessa, Neela, Carmelita.
Right.
And Contessa tells Neela to do something, and Neela's like, "Oh, sorry, can't. I'm actually going to India next week to go to a ball." And Contessa's like, "Oh, I'm actually also going to India for a ball." Like, they realize they're both as secret Claw Gang members going to Rajan's ball, and Carmelita overhears them and is like, "What's this?" And they have to be like, "Oh, we're going undercover to a criminal's ball." And Carmelita's like, "I'll go with you. It would make more sense if there were three of us." And they're like, "No, that's fine. You can stay here." And she's like, "No, I'm pretty sure I can handle it. Neela's just a rookie anyway." So they're like, "Okay, we're all gonna go undercover to Rajan's ball." And that's how Carmelita ended up doing that.
Carmelita, you had to actually RSVP like 3 months prior. So sorry. Yeah, she was 100% uninvited. The question I was gonna make is like, in the prologue, she's like, the Claw Gang definitely didn't take the Clockwork Parks. It was the mastermind, Sly Cooper.
She's like reflexively dismissive, yeah.
Yeah, returning to the scene of the crime. She attends the ball where like the wings are front and center.
They're behind you, Carmelita.
Like,
I think,
what?
I'm sure between those 2 points, they must have figured out at Interpol that it was the Claw Gang, but I've never thought about it from that perspective. Oh no.
I'm like, by that point, surely something must have clicked, correct?
I assume so, but if it did, it happened off screen.
But yeah, I'm obsessed with the notion that like Mila and the Contessa were just like actively avoiding her all night at the party.
Trying to, anyway.
Do we have any stone left unturned about the Black Chateau, of which the name I will not get into tonight?
No, just to repeat myself, I do find it very nostalgic to wander around there. Do you find every time you replay Sly Cooper, the world of the game seems a little bit smaller each time?
Yeah, actually.
I think there's something bittersweet about that. I don't think that's a flaw that you can reasonably criticize.
No.
That's familiarity. And also being an older person with access to more games. Obvious point of comparison. Infamous and Ghost of Tsushima have bigger maps than anything in Sly Cooper by a long margin. I don't know, it kind of feels like going back to a playground that you went to as a kid. It gets smaller because you're larger and you have more experience. But you can remember how big it was at the time.
What did you just call me?
I said you were fat.
Okay. Sorry, I misheard you there.
No worries.
Let me call up Miss Decibel. I definitely agree. I kind of like snickered at the mention of Infamous because it's like the maps of our games range from an ancestral palace in India to Seattle. Yay!
Literally Seattle, where we're from, by the way. Sucker Punch is based in a town within an hour drive distance to Seattle. Right? What you know.
They were really repping for Seattle.
I say this every time Infamous Second Son gets brought up. The protagonist is nominally Native American, but not only is he voiced by the white Troy Baker, he's from a completely fictional tribe. That's backwards. He should have been from a real native tribe in a fake version of Seattle. Because it's just so bizarre that it's empires.
I thought you were going to say it should be backwards. He should have been a white guy voiced by a Native American actor.
I mean, I take it. I don't think that's a huge priority, but sure. Just the bizarreness of Infamous 1 is set in Empire City, the grimy but historical metropolis on the eastern seaboard. Infamous 2 is set in New Marais, the southeastern city. There's a lot of kind of European architecture and jazz musicians.
Obsessed.
And then the third Infamous game is set in Seattle, Washington. You climb the spire thing, the needle or whatever the fuck it's called.
Boo.
That's rule of 3. Not quite. Anyway.
Well, Sly kind of did that.
Yeah?
Let's go from fictional volcano to Prague,
which is
Czechoslovakia.
Completely accurately portrayed.
Which is Universal Studios Halloween.
I would live there. I won't lie. I would live in Sly Cooper's version of Prague.
I'd live there. I think so. Although I feel like you say that as an Irish person who is used to not having the sun. Whereas, like, for me, that would be hell.
The sun is scary. The sun is hot, and it's trying to kill you.
No. Wake up and open your curtains to the red sky of Czechoslovakia.
Do you think, again, in terms of names changing, it was the Czech Republic when this game came out? I believe now it's just called Czechia. Do you think the Prague of the Sly Cooper universe is still in Czechoslovakia because ultimately the world is made by Americans who may not remember that they broke up.
You know what? I was saying it this way because I'm tired and I completely forgot.
Yeah, not to put you on blast.
And I am not actually American, so...
What? But your accent. I thought you was as American as apple pie.
Listen, pal, no tux, no entry.
Yeah, like that.
I'm from Brooklyn.
Aren't we all?
But I don't know. Maybe, and this is just a hunch, Sucker Punch never went to Prague based on their interpretation.
Have I mentioned the thing about the guy who made Tintin on this podcast?
Made what?
Tintin.
Yes.
Yes.
Hergé.
Hergé never in his life left Belgium.
Yes.
He just had friends who did leave Belgium inaccurately describe other places to him. And then he sent his little fictional ginger boy on adventures to these third-hand accounts of Indonesia or Africa.
Listen, not too much on Tintin now, okay?
Why not?
That's like literally my childhood. I saw this meme recently of this, is it Venn diagram, which is like the two circles?
Yeah.
And it's like what Tintin and Phoenix Wright have in common.
I think I might have seen this too. Go on.
No, that's just it. I was just like, interesting matchup.
Yeah. If I were working on something like Sly Cooper, I would certainly want to be like, oh, I have to go spend 3 weeks in Prague to do research. The reality of early 2000s mid-level game development is I don't know if they had the money to do that. Like, someone would have had to sign off on that.
Yeah, I would have loved to visit Bloodflow Bay for my research, but budget.
Unfortunately, it doesn't exist. We made it up. And it's not even entirely clear where it is. I guess the Caribbean? But they never outright say that.
Jamaica?
Yeah, like that general area, I suppose. Somewhere that doesn't have actual modern shipping routes with actual real metal ships going through it. Some quiet part of the ocean.
Was Black Spot Pete, before he entered this community which is cut off from the rest of the planet, was he one of those white people who wear dreads?
No.
And like idolize
How
Bob Marley?
many times do I have to say it? Black Spot Pete is a dark turquoise color. He's not black and he's not white. He's a dark turquoise.
The turquoise chateau, if you will.
You know who's a light turquoise? The Contessa.
No, she's not.
Her skin is blue.
That's not turquoise. What the fuck are you talking about? It's like an ashy blue.
Okay, it's a blue. Sorry.
It's like borderline periwinkle. Listen, I know my colors.
You're
okay?
naming more blues than I could ever hope to name. I thought you were disputing that she was light blue. She is light blue. We're in agreement here.
Yes, you said you know who's light turquoise.
Yeah, I would say that's turquoise-ish. I don't know. Maybe it's not green enough.
A resident and expert over here.
Yeah. I didn't want to make a comment like that, but...
Not that you could have.
No, of course.
So, what's with Neela's body double in the Bollywood movie?
Always saying
Mari stars in?
This is the number one question on my mind. As a child...
Not the Black Chateau?
No, who cares about that?
Oh.
As a child, I was absolutely like... Because how many purple cats do you get in any given story? Unfortunately, the answer is generally it's usually 0. Sometimes there's 1. There's a purple cat, and you're like, wow, there's Neela. When you're a child, like, you have to look carefully to be like, okay, that is a different person who's just also a purple cat. Do you think she's single?
Who's single?
The other purple cat.
I feel like if she's starring in a big Bollywood production, then chances are she's not.
That's a good point, but we don't know that she's starring. Because specifically, we're seeing Murray getting smuggled onto set as an extra. So I always inferred that the other people in frame were also extras.
She just looks like the type of girl that wouldn't even look at the direction of someone who has a Sly Cooper podcast. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, that seems needlessly specific, and I would go so far as to say hurtful. Does this mean that you're not interested in answering my follow-up question, which was, do you think she seems more or less likely to betray everyone around her in order to become a cybernetic immortal god? Because I don't mean to, like, bring negativity onto the podcast. I just feel like that's kind of what the kids would call a red flag. So generally you'd be wanting to look out for people who don't do that in your life. Like, not just romantically, but, like, platonically as well.
I think she would be like, that's the role of a lifetime.
Yeah, Sly Cooper 6. Neela's back, but actually it's this random lady who kind of looks like Neela.
The Bollywood actress, the Bollywood extra.
Fucking hell.
She stole Neela's fit. So, I have a question for you. Would you eat the roofied elephant food?
The elephant feed bag that has the mushroom in it?
The spice flour.
No. I would not eat it even if it didn't have drugs in it, because it's a big sack of grain for an elephant. I like...
See, I heard through the grapevine that the Bollywood actress really likes guys who eat elephant food.
Well, I like to eat pizza and steak and cookies. Ultimately, you have to stay true to yourself if you're ever going to find...
All three being options for your Sims 3 character to have as their favorite food.
I was at a friend's house and I played like a console version of The Sims that I wasn't familiar with. And I tried to get my Sim to make himself a meal.
Oh no.
Of just a bit of chicken and water to drink. But the inputs apparently made him take raw chicken out, pour water onto it, and then eat that.
Wow.
And I've been haunted by that for like 20 years.
That's crass. I don't know if they have salmonella in the Sims universe.
I'm glad he was fictional. I'll put it that way. What would the Sly Cooper characters be like as Sims players? I feel like Sly and Murray wouldn't have the patience for it and would want to play a different, better, more manly game. Bentley would create architecturally impressive houses, put Sims in them, get tired of the Sims, and then torture them to death.
Your question reminds me of one of my favorite tweets of all time, which says, is Popstar a feminist? Is MasterCard a queer ally? Is this TV show my friend?
Yeah. That's what podcasting is.
Bentley says that the nearest hospital to the jungle is 100+ miles away.
106, I believe.
I was gonna say that, but I was like, if I say it wrong, he's gonna call me out.
I adjust my glasses that I'm not wearing.
He's lying, he's actually wearing glasses. So...
He's lying. He's wearing glasses and they make him look really nerdy. He's got his teeth are poking out and he's got a calculator in his shirt pocket.
Actually, what kind of hospital is it? Is it a clinic or a hospital?
It's a veterinary hospital because that's the only kind of hospital they need.
And I was getting my hopes up that it was a sex clinic.
Yeah. Rolling up to the remote Indian sex clinic with several broken bones from... Oh, that's a good question, actually. Sly got... I believe I described it in the previous episode we did on Sly 2 as Neela led him into brain damage range. He was unconscious, face down in a little pond for a while.
Yes.
Then in the cutscene, he's just in manacles getting dragged away. Did he receive any medical attention for all of that? Or did they just stick him in that hole in the ground?
Why did you just call me? So, There's this Cupcake song that goes, I gave his dick CPR.
Oh yeah,
Do we think that's what happened?
I've heard that in a mashup with
Maroon 5's Misery.
Yes, and the Reese's Puff song.
Not to get crass with our favorite childhood game 2 hours into the podcast of being crass, I feel like the Contessa was like, Shadow Guard, warm up the defibrillator.
So, they just defibrillated him? They just defibrillated him for...
I mean, the closest sex clinic was 106 miles away. What did you want them to do?
They just kept defibrillating him for however long it took to get from remote Indian jungle to Prague.
Which Bentley drove, by the way.
Which Bentley drove, despite not knowing stick shift.
Did he pass by the sex clinic on his way?
No, it was the opposite direction. It was 212 miles in the other direction to the nearest sex clinic.
He's unlucky.
Not that he needs it.
Oh.
Of the three of them, Bentley's the one who needs it the least. At least as of Sly 2.
Right. Rajan, when you're taking pictures, is established uses half of the heart as kind of like this gardening tool to spray the spice plants with chemicals.
All day, every day.
I have two questions. First of all, what would Dimitri do if he got his hands on that part? What would it be spraying?
Glitter.
The correct answer is Coke.
Oh. Can it be both?
Sure, but I feel like you'd probably go to the hospital if you snorted Coke with glitter in it.
Look, some people cut their cocaine with, like, floor cleaner or whatever. Here at the Black Chateau, we like to have fun, you know?
Not only is there glitter in our Coke, we're also putting spice in your food.
Yeah, and which one of those is a bigger threat to your life? The answer may surprise you.
Not to go back, but I made this post recently where in my desperation to try and explain Dimitri's ring and why it gives him the ability to...
It can shoot lightning, yeah.
It grants him speed, let's just say.
Yeah, that too.
I mentioned Showgirls once on this podcast. This is the second mention.
Okay.
The first one being, what would Jim McSweeney's favorite movie be?
Oh, that's right. God, remember the Jim McSweeney episode? Feels like a lifetime ago.
Not long enough. What's her name? Gina Gershon. Her character has a bump ring.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking that might explain it. I don't know if Coke makes you shoot lasers as well.
I think it could. I wouldn't be shocked.
Now, back to my follow-up question. How do you think the Claw Gang divided the parts?
What's always kind of confused me is that a lot of them go unmentioned. Like, there's no discussion of the clockwork skin or the clockwork...
The clockwork dick.
My dick fell off. We're hidden...
Literally.
We're doing... Yeah, the rest of him also fell off. It's what? Tail feathers, heart... Wings.
Talons.
Eyes. Talons.
Brain.
Stomach and lungs. Brain. Where's his outer casing? Where was his beak? Where was his skull?
Where's the clockwork chest?
And I think those fell between Bisson and Arpeggio. Arpeggio definitely had the brain. He complains to Bisson that Bisson has most of the parts.
Yes.
One way or the other, Bisson ends up with all of the parts and sells them to Arpeggio. So, I guess... with that in mind, it was probably like a use case thing. The Contessa was like, I want the eyes because I can use them. Rajan was like, I want the wings because they look cool, and I'll take the heart because that sounds cool. I like to think Dimitri asked for a bunch of them, and they only gave him the tail feathers, which are the least consequential part of the robot owl.
And it was connected to the ass.
Yeah, that's tail feather. Why do we need to destroy the tail feathers? What's gonna happen if we leave the tail feathers out into the world?
Why didn't they destroy each part after getting it?
Because, well, they don't talk about this, but they establish that the parts are, like, extremely, supernaturally tough.
Sure.
It's only the destruction of the hate ship that makes them age into dust, but they don't really talk about that before it happens.
I was thinking that it was like a Drag Race design challenge situation where they have all the materials laid out on a table and then RuPaul shouted, "Go!" And it was just like everyone run to the table and grab whatever they could.
Yeah, I think Jean Besson pushed everyone else over because with the exception of Rajan, I don't think any of them can like stand up to his physical strength. So, yeah.
They all gathered in India and had RuPaul arrange the clockwork parts.
Yeah.
Who stole them from the Cairo Museum then?
Well, the one line that Neela says is she mentions guard casualties. So maybe Jean Besson and Rajan just walked in there, killed anybody who got in their way, and carried them out. Like, it could have been that simple.
The pig guards.
Not up to much.
Let's just say, no, Rajan isn't halal.
Yeah.
Would it be a stretch to say Neela was the one that took them?
Ooh, that's very interesting to think about, because that ties back into her being a foil to Sly.
Doesn't she mention this?
Not that I immediately recall.
Like, isn't she the one who was like, I did all the donkey work at the end? Like, I'm...
Well, yeah, she would say that anyway. She would not downplay her role. I'm gonna go with that.
Sly says, you had Neela put me on the scent back in Cairo.
Yes.
And then Neela says, you make it sound easy, Cooper. I had to carry your pathetic gang through that first set of heists.
Yeah.
I was overjoyed when Arpeggio let me toss you in jail. I could finally go after the parts myself.
That was her and her stupid little glider in Canada. She did such a good job.
Where does that leave us?
I think Sly Chew's a good game. Hot take. Maybe the liberal media doesn't want me to come out and say that, but Sly Chew remains a good game. And I don't even need to replay it to know that it's a good game. Except for the turret sections.
Or the tank sections.
And the tank.
Do we have anything else to say about The Predator Awakes?
No. I watched Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods.
Yes.
That cat is so purple and he is so gay. I forgot how gay he was. What a delight.
Does he go, meow?
No, he's very scratchy voiced and he's like an old catty gentleman and he makes rude comments about his live-in partner. How do you even describe this?
Limp wrist.
Limp wrist, that's it. I blanked on it. I have a screenshot of Beerus from Dragon Ball Z doing the limp wrist pose that I will show.